Welcome back to another Browns season. The 2010 training camp starts on Saturday, July 31st with the first of two open practices to the media and public. And Mary Kay Cabot, we learned today the Browns confirmed they will be a little shorthanded on Saturday.
That's right. And are you talking about the team president? He's going to be on a scooter for this. He had some foot surgery, but he should be okay by the start of the season. But he did tell us today that 3 players will start the season on the physically unable to perform list. That means they will not be practicing. Sean Rogers, C.J. Mosley, Coy Francis. And throughout camp, if they pass their physicals, they can get back on the field. Now, we also talked to Mike Holmgren today a little bit about Joe Hayden. He's the lone remaining unsigned draft pick, number 1 pick, and he said there is a chance he can get in by Saturday. Of course, it just takes, some of the guys ahead of him to sign their contracts, and then it falls like dominoes, and they get into camp. All right, heading into training camp, which again starts on Saturday, Tony, let's take a little bit of a look at some things we're going to be interested in looking at when we're out there watching practice. Starting with offense, what will be on your mind?
Well, I think in my mind, the major issue on offense is who's going to be the starting running back. I mean, Jerome Harrison is wildly popular right now after his 3-game surge at the end of last season. Then they go out and invest a lot of draft picks in drafting Montario Hardesty from Tennessee. Injury prone at college, but had a healthy final year. I think to me, that's the marquee battle on offensive training camp. What are you looking for on offense?
Well, it's probably the obvious, but I'm going to really be looking at Jake Delhomme and see what he can bring to the table. I mean, we left minicamp with Eric Mangini surprising us by saying, hey, you know what? I'm not going to name him the starter going into camp. They've kind of revised that now, and we all think that Jake Delhomme is the starter heading into camp. Even Mike Holmgren mentioned that today. What does Jake Delhomme have left? Was last year an aberration? I've been, looking into that a little bit. It just remains to be seen. He threw 18 interceptions, only 8 touchdowns last year. Does he have what it takes? And is there enough talent around him? I mean, the receivers are young and up and coming. So that's the thing to look at. And how much will Seneca Wallace play? Moving on to defense, Tony, what are you thinking about there?
Well, to me, the core of the whole defensive system here is going to be the linebackers. They have 8 linebackers in camp who have started in the NFL a lot of games. The makeup of and also it's the only position on defense where there are no rookies at all to clog up anything. This is going to be the nucleus of the Browns defense under Mangini and Rob Ryan. And I think how they position them, where does DeQuell Jackson fall now? And what about David Bones, who had a great year last year? And will we see Eric Barton back? And how do coaches use those guys? It seems to me that most of them can play inside or outside, and we could see that happening from play to play, let alone series to series. And I wonder what that means for DeQuell Jackson. Defensively, for you, what's an issue?
Well, the thing that I'll be looking at most in training camp will probably be the secondary. You're looking at T.J. Ward trying to nail down a starting safety job. Larry Asante showed some things in minicamp as well. And then, of course, you've got Joe Hayden coming in, hopefully for the Browns. He will get in fairly soon. And, will he start? Will he not? Sheldon Brown, the newcomer from Philadelphia, the veteran, is there. And I just think that's a big position to watch. They think it's an upgrade. We'll see how it goes. One more thing before we let you go. We're going to give you our pre-camp records. We'll come back and do it again after camp. Where do you think the Browns will finish this year?
Well, this is subject to change, right?
Right.
All right. So I am an optimistic guy, as you know. So I am starting at 8-8 as an expectation. I know it's wildly optimistic, but to me, if they won 5 games last year, what they had, and considering all the growth in the organization, I'm going to say 8-8. Right now. Now, it's subject to change. We'll review this again after training camp. What do you say, Mary Kay?
I'm going to start with 7-9, and then as I see the quarterback situation, which I think is the key to the season, I could revise that upward a little bit, probably not a lot, but for right now, I will say 7-9.
That's it for now. Mary Kay and I will be here every day during training camp for live updates on what's happening in Berea. Also, look for some exclusive coverage in the Plain Dealer preceding training camp. Mary Kay Cabot on Saturday has an in-depth look at Jake Delhomme, and I will have a complete analysis of the Browns training camp roster for Friday. And we'll see you along the way in this long, hot summer.